to, if you like, scope out our project and to begin this process of trying to work with our community. And it seems to me that, you know, there are loads of ways of building a sense of community. And I think Betchworth's pretty good at this. But I think this idea of working with nature as a way of building community is what RE-Betchworth is all about. As I mentioned earlier, we have a little team of Camilla, Deb, Hilary and myself who have been working on this right from the start, which effectively was, we had a meeting before Christmas, but effectively kicking this off in January. And our aims then really threefold. Firstly, to try and create a beeline around our village itself, and discovering what we've already got, because I think part of, we're blessed with this fantastic landscape in which we live, and it's full of stuff. And I think one of our objectives is to actually observe what's already there and record what's already there, so at least we've got a baseline to work with. And then to try and find people and businesses who are willing to sow and cultivate wildflowers in lawns, verges and fields. And thirdly, to record the effects of what we're doing. So it's not a scientific project, it's very much an experiment. But out of this, we hope, will be some really useful things. So we really need to pay attention to what it is that that does come out of what we're doing. So we're going to spend some time recording things. We saw it as a 2-year program. It would be too much to try and tackle all in one go. We want to get it established and then continue next year and build on what we've done already. So our initial plan then was to try and focus on North Betchworth, clearly because the Coombe area is and Pebble Hill is already within our beeline, and then work down from that in a sort of south direction through Betchworth. So this year we were just aiming to engage on a door-to-door basis the residents in the area to try and persuade them to join in. And next year we'll carry on through Betchworth. But the project is open to anyone in Betchworth. If people want to come forward in the south of Betchworth and create their own mini meadow, then that's fine. But this year we've just been going door-to-door in the northern part. Okay, so far, between us, we've probably had maybe 50 conversations on doorsteps, and about 40 residents have agreed to actively join the project, and 5 local businesses, including our garden centre and Knights, and Ranmore Service and Engineering, who they have the sponsorship of the roundabout and Broome Park, and then 2 more businesses. We've also been in touch with Surrey Highways Authority and Surrey Wildlife Trust. So what are we asking? Well, we're asking for people to pledge that they're going to sow some wild seed, and Louis just described the way that we might prepare the ground. We wanted the project to be as inclusive as possible, so any little patch will do as far as we're concerned. And if it's a pot, what was that Louis said? A field, a plot, or a pot. I thought that's a really good way of capturing it. You know, everything is important. We'll try and include whatever it is that you can do into this project. But as Louis said, what's actually hiding in the lawn is quite unbelievable. About 4 years ago, I decided not to cut the grass, and so much came through, unbelievable wildflower meadows, and it was just lying there, and I never knew it was there because I cut the grass so frequently. So, including lots of orchids, by the way. And so I think I'm seeing that all over in the fields around where I live. So probably in lawns, those wildflowers will exist. But of course, ultimately, it is about trying to stop the halt and the decline of pollinators. So one of the things we want to try and do is some surveys once we've established some wildflower areas, to get some surveys done. Now, none of us have expertise in this, so we're going to have to develop this expertise. And also, if there's anybody in the village who has some expertise in identifying the bugs, then please let us know and come and join us. So what we're going to do with it? Well, I think we're going to start off with making maps. So the top map there is the map of the Coombe. It still needs to be a bit updated because we've had 2 or 3 more people coming in today. but basically every spot is a residence that's agreed to participate in the project. And from there, we want to try and create maps which show a bit more detail about what it is we're seeing. So areas of natural rewilding, no-mows, patches and strips and containers. We want to sort of develop the mapping tools to be able to understand what it is that we are cultivating. And there's a patch of James's garden on the bottom right. And we'll make also, we want to photograph a lot, create galleries, and also little movies for our YouTube, RE-Betchworth YouTube channel, which is providing us with sites for people who can't actually get out and see them of what we've achieved. James said earlier in the chat that we needed to create maps, and I think we do need to create maps. So this is the start of what our beeline might look like, going right from the north, from Fraser Down in the north, which is a privately managed nature reserve, chalk grassland with wildflowers, coming through. There's a lot more dots to include on the Pebble Hill Road, but the Coombe area, and then natural rewilding area just north of Betchworth Station, through where I live in Chalklands, down through the woods, and then through Knights and the roundabout. The roundabout, Ramor Engineering is looking into the idea of just not mowing that completely and then selectively sowing some seeds into that. And I've been in touch with the Highways Authority, who say it's very unlikely that they're going to mow before the end of July. So I think that roundabout should be a real, a real fertile area for wildflower growth, and should be, I think, the jewel in the crown this year of the Northern Betchworth project. And then going down to Station Road at the bottom. So our intention then is to try and get as many green dots on that map, the green dots representing the areas that we are trying to seed and grow more wildflowers in. So our timeline then, well, we started in January, and between now till the end of March, we'll be trying to cajole, persuade residents to become part of this. Our Zoom meeting is kicking it off today. As Louis said, we've already got some seed, but we're going to order more seed. We're hoping that in March, sites will be prepared and we'll distribute the seeds. And then March to July will be cultivation of those. Hopefully get some nice wildflower mini meadows. We'll produce a spring edition of our magazine highlighting what we've managed to accomplish in that time. And then June, we're hoping that participants will enjoy their wildflowers and keep them watered and send photographs of both the flowers and pollinating insects. And from that, we'll create our own gallery. And then July 1st, we're hoping to, this is National Meadows Day, hoping to celebrate what we've achieved. We're not sure how we're going to do it yet, but suggestions are welcome there. But we'll have a day where we can connect and show what we've achieved. And then there'll also be a summer edition of our magazine. And then June to August, we're hoping to do some surveys and create a project movie on our YouTube channel. So that in a nutshell is where we've got to so far and what we intend to do. And if you know people who don't know about this yet, please do persuade them and say it's something worth doing, and let's really build this sense of community through it.